Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and I'm on a mission to spread peace, love, and positivity through music. Today I'm bringing you another triple reaction to the Dave Matthews Band, or this time more specifically it is just Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds, the dynamic duo that is capable of so much. It was made very clear during the Radio City show just how good they are. All it takes to captivate an entire audience is two guitars, one voice, and a whole lot of musical creativity. So I'm excited to hear more of their fine work together. Today we're going to be checking out 3 of their songs from their Luther College appearance back in 1996. We'll start with Tripping Billies, then Warehouse, and end the reaction off with Ants Marching. As always, I'm super excited to check these out today alongside you, but before we do, a massive thank you goes to Craig the Amazing for the generous donation request and these selections today. Thank you very much, my friend. And now, let's just jump in. The soundscape is already so full. Mad impressive. This audio quality is really good too.
We were above, you were standing underneath us, we were not yet lovers. Dragons are smoked, so bumblebees are stinging us, our soon to be crazy. Each drink can be merry for tomorrow and I. Each drink can be merry for tomorrow and I. 'Cause I'm tripping Billy.
The notes that are accented here, it's really fun to listen to. You get a bit of bluegrass and all of it too, which is insane. Oh my.
We're wearing nothing.
He just throws that in there, a little sprinkle. Oh.
We're wearing nothing, nothing but a shadows falling down on the beach sand. Remembering once out on the beaches we wore pineapple grass bracelets. So why would you care to get out of this place? You and me and all our friends, such a...
Something to note about Tripping Billies, this song, it is so jovial. It really is reminiscent of times where you're just living life, enjoying its simple pleasures rather than, constantly grinding or fixating on the next anxiety or the reoccurring one. Gives you a step back, which is nice. And it also appears in the time signature as well. If you're able to count it out, granted there's a lot of complexity in the strums that are being accented, but to me it sounds like we're in 6/8, which almost like quickens the normal feel of a song. The standard track being, a 4/4/1. Listen for the 6/8 here. I think it adds a lot.
You and me and all our friends, such a happy human race. Yep.
Wow, and moving that melody around. And then finding home again.
'Cause I'm tripping Billy. We are all sitting, legs crossed round a fire. My yellow flame, she dancing, tequila drinking. Oh, our minds will wander to wondrous places. So why would you care
It's always so interesting to bring up this point, but I just noticed it again here. Dave's vocals, they are slower moving throughout this track because against his voice are these very fast-paced guitars coming from Dave himself, but he's able to kind of ground the track in the vocals, like right in the middle, right in the forefront of all that we're hearing here. So it's almost like, man, I want to focus on the rhythmic textures from the guitars, but at the same time, what becomes more salient in my mind is his vocals. And then if I want to do the analysis underneath and figure out what specifically is going on, you can do that. And when you do that, you realize this is a lot harder than it seems.
Say happy human race, each drink can be merry.
Yeah, I like this.
Tomorrow and
Great version.
Each drink can be merry. For tomorrow and
Oh my god. Dude, Dave is blessed with Tim, man. Tim can do no wrong. Oh my god. Ah, yeah. Almost like an Allman Brothers feel there. Dude, Tim is so precise in his playing. I've said it before. Of course, I'm going to say it again. And playing as precisely as he is on the acoustic guitar rather than an electric, to me, is so much more impressive. If you were to play this exact same riff on the electric guitar, for me, I would be able to play it a million times more cleanly than on acoustic. Maybe that's just because of the way that I learned how to play guitar, because I pretty much started with electric guitar and learning lead rather than going on acoustic, playing notes and then learning chords. I had a really kind of backwards intro to guitar. So let me know if you are a guitar player yourself, or if you've actually engaged with the Dave Matthews Band material as an instrumentalist. Would you be able to play that part cleanly? Or if you could, would it be easier on electric? I'm curious what you guys think. I think it's easier on electric.
Tomorrow and I drink and be merry. For tomorrow and I drink and be merry.
I love this version so much. Dude. So rich. That little note there, that was bright.
Thank you.
That was maybe one of the best versions of Tripping Billies I've heard.
We'll do quiet one, loud one, quiet one, loud one. Sort of just a boot. Splash here, splash there.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix it up a little. We'll have some heavy tunes and some light tunes and something in between. And,
It's for the college age kids. You gotta add the humor.
This is a sort of in-between one, really.
I mean, you can't deny Dave's theatricality there. No wonder he resonated so well amongst college-aged kids, because, of course, college-aged kids love just good-natured fun. You can make fun at yourself, poke fun at yourself, be real, also be impressive. But I guess here more importantly, it's so musically captivating. The soundscape, it is just so full, man. It is so full. 2 guitars, the rich tones. It almost feels like when I strum my guitar, if I were to play the exact chord that Dave or Tim is playing, the way I would play it, it would not sound as loud, as huge as their equivalent chords are. And of course, like, that may not be a fair 1-to-1. I would need to do the full performance and have the sound set up and everything. But assuming all else is equal, somehow it feels like if I were to play my acoustic however I would and try to emulate their performance, it just wouldn't be possible. I don't know what it is that they put in their instruments that creates such amazing sounds. Again, I guess it's just pure talent there. But let's just quickly jump into the next track, Warehouse. The natural harmonic. And Tim is he's like a mad scientist when it comes to some of these techniques. Oh. Yeah, you hear him already. And the droning notes from Dave too. With the delay and these like pick scraped. Oh, it's cool. It's really cool. Man, I feel like I'm in a foreign land right now. It's like the Crusades, but I'm on the planet Mars. You know, the song could just be this for the rest of it, I'd be fine. That's that's how cool this soundscape is here. It's like wanting to teeter. It's almost like wanting to kind of... It's like holding back a bit, because it could explode. Whoa! Imagine hearing this in person for the first time. Dude, what is that? I don't even understand how Tim is doing that. Is he literally just sliding up and then somehow the notes are getting chopped up in that way? He may be strumming each time he arrives at a new fret, but also sliding up is what I would assume, mixed with delay. That's cool. Oh yeah, here we go. I mean, what a cool intro to this. This is probably the best version of Warehouse now. Immediately. Dude, I love the droning notes. Yeah.
Don't throw away your playful that says, and be sure to leave all the lights on. Man in the black hat changing colors, and you can walk under.
It's like if you've ever played any video games where you create a character and you have different skill trees. Dave Matthews, man, songwriting up here, vocal delivery up here. I mean, all of it is so interesting and it's maxed out. Wonder what other skills we could talk about here. There's many. The vocal melody against the rhythms in the strumming. There's constant movement here in the rhythm.
Slipping to the crowd. This question I found in the gap in the side. Oh, keep all these sights on. Man, the black hat changing colors, and we can walk under ladders and swim as the tide choose to turn and derising. Goes on and
wow.
on TV set spots in the middle start to frame, start to stick a bit.
Wow, they thinned it out so much and brightened it at the same time, and now pulling it back into the rhythm again. Oh, the switcheroos.
Well, I feel now this rhythm of a quitting backspines on a plane. Hopefully to heaven away. Shut up, I'm thinking I had a clue, now it's gone forever, sitting over each bone. You can read in whatever you're needing to keep sights on. Man in the black hat changing colors, and not the colors that matter. Well, that we all fade away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And don't stick.
Dude, it's so good. So dynamic.
I'll fade away, all that's so too hard to admit. All seems so good I can't believe.
There's so much to this song, even meaning-wise, that I don't think I've ever spoken about. When we've talked about Warehouse, we kind of enjoyed the musicality of Warehouse being performed by the full band. If you kind of consider the warehouse as being like the human vessel, our physical form, it's like a container of our experiences and memories and beliefs, and almost like that is who we are and what we know. It is familiar to us. Outside of that warehouse is the unknown, is fear. It is the transient kind of nature of life that we have to also learn to contend with. So fixating on the warehouse, it's a good thing to do because you then get to know who you are, but expanding that warehouse is where things become a little bit harder, right? Change and all that good stuff. Or even just leaving the warehouse, leaving the familiar. This is definitely leaving the familiar. When Dave starts scatting.
Inside the warehouse where our blood is flowing. to stay here? Warehouse, don't you love to stay here? Warehouse, well, overexcited. Warehouse, don't you love to stay here? Warehouse, every man and a woman look alike. That's so blind down there. She's born from the hands of angels, then trickle into their ground. Leave a warehouse so bare and empty, then my heart's gonna burn me. Will echo in this empty room, and the fear held in me that nothing seems big enough to stay. So I'm gonna wait, man, I'm gonna wait. Let you there.
Oh, interesting. So even those individual
Thank you,
notes are just brimming with feel. Yeah, man. The warehouse. And it's like so easy to want to stay in the warehouse. And a lot of what we do in our life, even subconsciously, helps facilitate that warehouse. Keeps us there without us knowing whether, like, why we're doing what we do. And it ends up like we're stuck in that loop. That's sort of like a terminology I've used in the past too. This idea of like things that we do that keep us looped in a perpetual state, whether it's emotionally or physically, whatever it is we're trying to improve on. We may know what it is, but the actual actions that we undertake at a certain point, they may, bring us a few steps forward and then regress us back to the warehouse. And that's not to say that the warehouse is bad inherently and that one must change, but usually one is not changing away from things that are holding them a little bit behind because of, the familiarity of that warehouse. You can have an amazing warehouse and build that place for yourself that is exactly what it needs to be for you. I could still, I would still wager that you can still continue to build oneself. So I don't know. The way I think about it, it's like a bit of both. You have to be content with where you are, but also try to move in a direction that continues to reaffirm who you are and who you want to be, rather than being forced into one direction or the other. You don't want to be forced into change per se, but you also don't want to be forced into being stagnant. I think if you're making your decisions with intention, without deluding yourself, stay in the warehouse, deviate from the warehouse, build your warehouse, make it better, whatever you really need to do, right? It's all possible, so long as you're doing it with both eyes open. But yeah, my thoughts musically. There's just so much going on. I love the dynamics in this song specifically, that allow for those sort of moments of reprieve, like I like to say. Because a lot of this song, rhythmically, it's very fast-paced. It keeps us in the action, and we're grounded in Dave's vocal delivery, but everything around is really, really moving. So at some point, when you slow that down, when you quiet the external world, then you can really dive deeper into who you are. What is that warehouse? Do I even have a good idea of the warehouse that I am? Or am I just kind of going with the familiar flow? It's a thought experiment worth at least having. Last track.
Thank you all very much. You've been great tonight. We had a good time with you. I hope you had a good time too. He wakes up in the morning, down the street by to eat, and he's rolling. Never changes a thing. The weekend's the weekend.
up and down with the vocals here.
But we never say a thing, and these crimes between us grow deeper. Take these chances.
He's shredding in the lows there.
Take these chances.
See, the thing is, most guitars don't opt for lower runs right like that. I think my read on the average guitarist is they love to shred up into the higher pitches and frequencies because it is kind of associated with being more epic. So it is a rarer experience to hear a guitarist opt for notes that are in the lower registers, but then also descend lower. Again, Tim, the mad scientist that he is, he finds ways to make the guitar fresher than yesterday.
Take these chances, place them in the box until a quieter time lights down you up and I. Those two visitors, mommy, she feeds him while his concerns he forgets them and remembers being small, playing under the table and dreaming. Take these chances, place them in the box until a quieter time lights down you up and I. People in every direction. No words exchanged, no time to exchange. When all the little answer might say, red and black and tan away.
I feel like I'm coming away with so much more meaning on these tracks than I ever did before. Because now the way I'm thinking about Ants Marching, it is a lot of criticism about the kind of monotony of life, and maybe less so about monotony, but more so about the way that people conform to certain routines and behaviors and kind of without knowing it, but oftentimes we even do know it, letting go of their dreams. And that's really sad. That is very, it makes sense. There's the realities of life and needing to put food on the table, and it makes sense to fall in routines because we're humans, we're creatures of habit. But we can be more, I think, assertive in our own lives. And that doesn't mean we need to let go of the dreams. We can reformulate what works for us to avoid monotony for monotony's sake. We don't have to conform just to do it. We can find what works best for us, what is congruent with who we are, rather than just being ants marching, as ants do.
Red and black and tan are waving. We all do it the same. We all do it the same way. Yeah. County man with sensing the thoughts of a sweet tooth, the torture of the weight loss program. A cut saying the corners of loose end, cat on the fence could not show up and cut. Take these chances, place them in their box until a quieter time lights down you up and I. Yeah.
The slow down feel from Tim is genius here. Fire.
Lights down, you up and down here. Thank you all very much, man. Okay.
Wow, you hear that applause.
Thank you very much, Tim Reynolds, that's it.
Well deserved.
Wow.
Let's give it a pause there. Oh man, I will listen to everything Dave Matthews Band related, but even more specifically Dave and Tim. This duo, it is so surprising they can fill up the soundscape so completely, from the lows to the highs to the mids. I mean, it's all covered, so it doesn't feel like you're kind of left wanting. Almost like when you've had the perfect meal. I know in the West, and even myself, we have this habit of overeating. And I can eat a lot, man. Let me tell you, if I didn't really put a cap on it, I could like do 5,000 calories a day and just go overboard. And I feel like when you just have Dave and Tim, it is like you are eating the perfect meal. There's nothing more that you really need. There's nothing less. I mean, how can I say? There's nothing more that you really need. You have everything that you would need. All of the major food groups are accounted for. I don't know why I get lost down these food analogies. I think that always lets me know that I'm a little bit hungry. But again, listening to these guys, it is so impressive what they do from a technical perspective in addition to the creative element. I think Tim especially, he always adds unique elements to the acoustic guitar playing that you don't hear other acoustic guitars really employ all that much. And when you pair that with Dave, who's already a unique vocalist in his own right, and the songs that they write don't fit any other mold, it is just such a fresh experience. I can only imagine those attending the show in 1996 not having any clue what they're hearing and loving every moment of it. And even for me, as I'm going through the Dave Matthews discography and sharing my reactions for you all, it still feels baffling to me that they're able to do this, because I can't think of other guitar duos that put themselves out there in this specific format. I just can't think of any. I've heard like trios, I've heard like quartets of guitarists and vocalists kind of coming together. Never heard it in the context of a duo. And if I've even listened to guitar duos outside of Dave and Tim, they don't sound like this, not at all. It's more of the standard like chord strumming feel and singing from the other member, rather than something being more technical and even more melodically engaging from the guitars themselves, because it's not just chords that are being strummed. They are playing full-on melodies on top of the melodies that Dave is singing. Then not to mention that Tim's guitar solos, it only serves to add to the amazing repertoire that the Dave Matthews Band have in their tool belt. Because if you only have two of their members who are capable of putting on this kind of a show, every individual that you add to their mix, I guess exponentially complicates their tracks, but also you reach new impossible levels. I think out of all of these songs today, I was most impressed by Warehouse. I like the direction that they took it just because it was so different than the Warehouse that I'm familiar with. But then it becomes a very hard sort of toss-up between Tripping Billies and Ants Marching. I think I'll probably give the nod to Tripping Billies and then Ants Marching. But honestly, like after Warehouse, it becomes hard for me. And I know that there's a whole other set to this performance as well. I think there's like 2 discs when I was looking at the entirety of this Luther College performance. So maybe we'll get to check out more in the future. But for now, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did and want to request more Dave Matthews Band yourself, you can do so by clicking the first link down below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.